Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to cover how to determine what your style is, or how to find your style. So all over the internet there's articles and videos that give you all sorts of ideas as to what you should wear and what you shouldn't wear and what mistakes to avoid, and it can be actually really overwhelming trying to determine what to take on board and what to take as yours and what not to. At the end of the day, the only way you're going to find your style really is by just trial and error and going into shops and trying on things and going through all of those motions, because no one can tell you exactly what to wear. And this is where it's scary but exciting, is we're all individuals. We've all got different things that make us who we are. We're all unique, and you need to find your style and your way. And so as much as it's good watching all these sorts of things going, oh, that's great, I'll take that on board, always take everything you read and watch with a huge grain of salt. So anything on the internet, don't necessarily just copy and paste it and apply it into your life in a sort of direct fashion, as you know, exact. Make sure that you're putting your own feel into it. So to try and help, I suppose, determine what your style is, I've just come up with 5 things that I find have helped me in determining what my style is. So number 1, and so they're not necessarily in order, but number 1 is determine what your best feature is. So I believe in focusing on positives rather than the negatives as much as possible. So instead of focusing on things on your body that you don't like, focus on the things that you do love. So, you know, even if you have to write a list, write down some things that you really love about your body and hone in on accentuating that in what you wear and how you do your makeup and how you present. So, for example, I like my eyes, and I feel there's something that, you know, can be quite a statement. So I tend to emphasize my eyes. Other things that I'm not so confident on would be, say, my nose. I feel I've got a fairly plump nose. So obviously I can try and minimize that. I don't do it all the time, but just for an example, I can use contouring and try and minimize my nose. Obviously I don't do it every day, and it is good to accept who you are as well, and don't take it on board too much and get too caught up with the whole having to minimize those sort of things, I guess is what I'm saying in this. So focus on the things that you love and really emphasize those. Make whatever it is that you feel you love about your body pop. So it might be a few things. So for example, you might love your hips. You might have a good hip shape. So hone in on things that really emphasize and highlight that. Okay, so number 2 is determine your skin tone. So this is important because it helps you figure out what color tones suit you. And this one can be manipulated a little bit through the clever use of makeup. So some things that you can wear, well, some things that you can't wear sometimes you can get away with if you do your makeup in a certain way, bringing out certain tones and hues. But I'll leave that for another video. So pretty much I think for each of these points I will do another video that goes into a lot more detail, but this is just a really quick breakdown of some things that I find helpful. So determine your skin tone. That's a definite useful one that I like as well. Number 3 is body type. So determine what your body type is. There's so many different figures and body types out there. There's no wrong or right. It's literally just determining what you are and working within what you have and making the most of it. So do you have a pear shape? Have you got more of a hip and you're slimmer up the top, or are you more of an apple and or are you top heavy? You've got a broader shoulder. Beautiful broad shoulders can look really great in so many different outfits. It's all about just finding what you are. Or have you got the hourglass figure? Whatever it is, find what you are, love yourself for what you have, and be grateful for it as much as possible, and learn to love that and accentuate that in what you wear. So yeah, number 4 would be, and this is probably one of my biggest points, I think, actually. 4 and 5 I would say are the most important. So number 4 would be, what inequalities in you do you want to reflect outwardly? So what essentially makes you you? So that could be anything. This is a really broad thing. So sometimes to determine that, again, it might help to write these down and determine, what is it about me that I like? What is it about me that I want other people to see that they may not necessarily see on a normal basis? Or it may not be something that I can normally convey in conversation, but I can hint at it in subtle ways through what I wear. So this is where it can get really exciting, and you can start to really brainstorm and think of clever little ways, subtle little ways. It's all about the subtleties and the small details. Think about these ways that you can bring that to life and accentuate that in what you wear. You know, do you have a bright, bubbly personality? One way to explore that in fashion would be the use of bright, bold colours or bright, bold patterns, and making that work in accordance with your other features and things. If you're more of a reserved personality, you can wear more neutral tones. Or, and this is where it gets extra fun, is sometimes you can be the opposite to what you are inside as well. So I know I, have days where I'm not really feeling terribly, let's go out there and let's go get them type. I'm having more quiet days where I'm just wanting those softer neutral tones and just wanting to blend in, I suppose. So you can use fashion as a really clever way to express what you're feeling on a given day, what some of your strong attributes are, what you want people to see about yourself. It's not just simply a matter of wearing clothes to cover your body. It's so much more than that. And when you really harness that, you really start to realize how much of an impact it has in your life. So I will do another video, I think, that covers that, because there's just so much I could talk about. But today I just wanted a quick little video as to these main points. Now, the next one, the fifth point, ties in a lot with number 4. So it is, how do you envision your future self? So often in life we can get very caught up with how we've been in the past and how we've looked in the past, and not being terribly comfortable with change and growth. So sometimes growth can be uncomfortable, or sometimes we're just so used to being a certain way that we haven't even thought of trying other things that may actually really suit us or be really good for us. So we can get a bit stuck in a rut. So sometimes it's sitting down and reflecting, how do I envision my future self? So in a year's time, in a few months' time, in a few weeks' time, or longer term, 5, 10, 20 years, start thinking ahead a little bit and going, well, where do I see myself? And how can I adjust what I'm wearing to suit the person I'm really wanting to become? So if you're not feeling terribly confident about yourself, but you want to be confident, start thinking about how you can implement and incorporate that in your fashion choices. So it starts off, don't rush into it, just baby steps. In life, baby steps. So first step is to acknowledge it, and then determine from there where you want to go with that. So small steps. Maybe if you're someone who wears neutral colors, start branching out and wearing, maybe a hint of yellow or a hint of red or something. Even if you don't want to go all out that color, just a tiny little hint of it. Even if it's like a neckerchief or a headband or a pair of earrings, start branching out and exploring different parts of yourself that you want to become or want to look into, or just want to play around with. It can be really fun. And then you might find starting off, you might be someone who wears a lot of neutrals and greys and beiges, and in 5-10 years time you are wearing bright, bold colors and patterns and really pronounced, defined contrasts and things like that. You never know. So don't be afraid to explore your inner self and think about, what am I? What makes me me? And where do I want to go? So those are the 5 main points. Just in summary, again, I'll go over them. So the first one was determining your best features. The next one was your body, skin tone, I think. Third one was body type. Tip 4 was what inequalities do you want to reflect outwardly? And number 5 was how do you perceive your future self? So if you have a think about those 5 points, they're 5 points that I've found have helped me in my growth in fashion and just in life as well, because I feel everything's all connected and interconnected and interrelated. So think about these things, take a notepad, write them down, do it in a way that's not pressured or anything, and don't feel pressured into having to conform to certain societal norms or what people expect of you or what people know of you. Just be really authentic with yourself and go, you know, this is me and this is actually something I want to look into. It can be really exciting. So as I've said, fashion isn't just something you cover your body with, it's something that you express your inner self with. And people do treat people differently depending on how they present and look. And if you're also feeling confident about what you're wearing, you will convey that outwardly as well. So in itself, you may be wearing a beautiful dress, but it's not just the dress that's beautiful or a handsome suit or whatever for the men out there. It may not be just that outfit that has the wow factor, but the fact that you feel good in what you wear, that in itself that's real attraction, and that's what really makes you glow and what draws other people to you. So have a think about those things, and I will do some other videos that actually breaks down those points perhaps further, and we can explore a bit more from there. If you like today's video, make sure you like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Everything's still pretty new in the Mel Amy fashion department, so bear with me. It's getting there. Things are starting to get going. So make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, Mel Amy Fashion, and then head over to Instagram at Mel Amy Official and follow on there as well, because I post different things on different pages and I try and be as consistent as possible, but it's a little bit tricky because there's so much to do. All right, thanks for watching guys, and stay tuned for more.